Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday, the 23rd day of July 2025. I hope you're all safe and healthy on this Wednesday. I hope your family is safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field along with first responders who every day are trying their best to save lives. Blessings also upon those that pick up garbage to keep places clean and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those that are out here trying to help those that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, double curses on those profiteers, and double curses on those perverts that create the demands that cause these industries to continue to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, veterans, homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Yesterday, during the course of the day, I got information from Nice 7182 that he got from Ian Begley that said the Knicks were, he put it, checking in on Pablo Prigioni. As it turns out, when I looked at the article, I didn't respond to you, Nice 7182, because I don't like to respond until I get more information, because I get more BS on my channel than actual information. And so, and speaking of that, if you come on my channel, some of y'all still don't get it. You come on my channel being negative about the Knicks or a particular play. Somebody tried to use the Dink Pate thing as an opening to crap all over RJ. You gone. Don't do that. Okay, this channel is for the Knicks and with the Knicks. You cannot come on here speaking negative about the Knicks. You don't like it, don't come, period. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. So as I looked at Ian Begley, they not just checked in, they received permission to interview him. That's a big thing. Put it this way, the Knicks checking in on a player like Ben Simmons is really a far reach for them to sign that player. That means they're just checking in. They're just seeing how he is, what the situation is as part of due diligence. At this stage of the coaching situation, when they are getting permission to interview someone, they are serious about hiring that individual. Okay? So, for example, again, the Knicks have one roster spot, one vet minimum roster spot open, and they have checked in on multiple players. Okay, some that are now not available, but they've checked in on them. Checked in on, mentioned Simmons, Smart. They've checked in on several players and keeping tabs with players like Landry Shamet. That's part of due diligence. That doesn't mean they've actually decided on any particular player, but they are checking in. But when they receive permission, once they have hired head coach Mike Brown, and they have hired another guy, Riccardo Fois from Italy, who also has coached in both college as an assistant and the NBA for the Kings under Mike Brown. When they hire these guys, this is serious business. They actually get the checkbook out and ready to sign. So Pablo Prigioni is important and tells you a little bit about what the Knicks' plans are. So they hired Fois, who is an offensive-minded assistant coach. They're looking at Prigioni, who is an offensive-minded assistant coach. And Prigioni, we are in New York, are familiar with him. He played for the Knicks. He came in as a 35-year-old rookie, having had a Hall of Fame. If there was a Hall of Fame in Europe, he had a Hall of Fame career. Spanish Cup MVP in 2006 and 2008. 2 times All-Euro League. 3 times All-Spanish League. Championship winner of the Spanish Cup 3 times. Winner, led them in steals, and if you remember him on the Knicks, he was a theft artist at age 35. Of course, he was in tremendous shape for somebody that came in after all them years playing pro ball. So he had already had a resume. Then he went and he got his coaching pedigree set up, and he has been coaching as an assistant lately again under Chris Finch in Minnesota, helping develop and design the Minnesota offense. So what does that tell us? They didn't get the associate head coach that they may have wanted, right? I don't trust anybody but Ian Begley with whether the Knicks really are looking at a player or a coach or not. Anything else is BS, and everybody else is BS. And I want to y'all say this again. Somebody kept coming on my channel yesterday, who I deleted, with clickbait that he heard somewhere. You don't understand. If you don't understand what clickbait is, learn. I don't want, this is not a gossip column. That's for Ann Landers, okay? This is not a gossip column. That's for page 6 in the Daily News. That's not this, okay? So don't come in here spreading gossip or rumors about what you heard. That's gossip. Only what you know from credible sources. Please. It's annoying. Because with respect to the Knicks, people get clicks based on the Knicks name with crap. And it's disrespectful to the Knicks in my view. Disrespectful to what they have done over the last 5+ years and building the culture they now have. Disrespectful to the Don and his crew. Disrespectful to the coaches and the players. Disrespectful. And I find it repulsive. And I wish you wouldn't bring it here. With respect to Prigioni, it looks like Mike Brown has hired 2 offensive, or I guess I'm expecting him to hire Prigioni. I guess I am. I will say that. I'm expecting to hire him. They're not going to bring him in and get permission, both from him and the Timberwolves, to interview him at this stage, unless they weren't serious about hiring him. So it looks to me that that is the Knicks and Mike Brown, are going to leave the Knick offense in the hands of Pablo Prigioni and this young man, Fois. I don't want to say his name. It's Riccardo Fois. Sorry, I'm messing it up. Riccardo Fois. They're going to leave the offense in the hands of these 2 young men. And Prigioni's young. You know, he's 48. To me, I'm 64. He's young. He's too old as a player, but as a coach, he's a young coach. And the other cat's like 38. So they both young. They're going to leave the offense in the hands of these young boys that know NBA offense, which is very good. And what does that mean to me? It means that Mike Brown is going to focus his attention on the defensive side of the basketball, which is why guys like Diawara come into play. Guys like Porter come into play. Guys that are defensive minded and defensive oriented. Now they did get Jordan Clarkson, which is understandable. He's an offensive juggernaut off the bench. They did do that. But they drafted, and the guys that look like the diamonds in the rough all play defense. And so I think we're going to be pleased with this. As long as Mike Brown is successful, the Knicks are successful. So we're really pushing for him to be successful on the defensive side of the ball. And then these 2 men that he has hired, Fois and Prigioni, on the offensive side of the ball. I like what Minnesota did with their offense in the last couple of seasons under Finch. And I like what they did on their defensive side of the basketball as well. And the difference with Mike Brown, though, is, as we mentioned many times, he's going to go 10 deep. There is no doubt, I'm 100% guarantee you, there's going to be 10 players, at least, that have 10 minutes or more a game. Okay? And then you're going to have the 11th and 12th guy get about 6 to 8 minutes. The guys out of the rotation, they're going to get some minutes too. Because the way Brown is going to play, he's going to be running 94 feet defense. Deuce McBride is going to be a big key player in this situation. He's going to be running 94 feet defense. He's going to be running trapping defense. It's going to remind, to me, I can see a situation like we had with Rick Pitino. Some of y'all go back to when Pitino came out of Providence and was coach of the Knicks for a couple of seasons. And he did that. He pressed He ran, he focused on defensive pressure for the whole game. And he was very successful with that. I think we're going to see that with a combination of that and an offense that spreads the floor and uses threes and allows a guy like Jalen Brunson or Karl Anthony Towns to work. And that's why you're going to see 10, because they're not going to run guys 40 minutes at that pace. You're not going to get, no, you're going to run them for 30 minutes, 32, 33, 34 minutes, but they're going to be going full tilt on both sides of the basketball, and you're going to have 10 guys, and then you're going to need a couple of other guys just to give some breathers to the main 10. So this is going to be, it's exciting. Okay, it's exciting. So Prigioni, yes. The Argentine guy that also of Italian descent that played in Spain and Argentina, had a long career in Europe, a defensive thief and an offensive talent, very smart, very intelligent. I'm excited if they do that. It sounds like that's what we're going to have. So you have these two assistants running the offensive show, and Mike Brown is going to put his attentions on the defense. And that's really good. That's good to know. It's good to have. So I'm looking forward to them interviewing Prigioni, making him an offer, and moving on with that, and understanding what this is going to look like in terms of the dynamic for the Knicks. The offensive side, Prigioni with Fois, and the defensive side, Mike Brown. Now, with the other coaches, for example, Mark Bryant, big man coach, right? You're going to have Mark Bryant, big man coach. I'm not sure what role Rick Brunson's going to play, except I know, and we should all know, he's going to be close to his son. And he's going to be personally coaching his son, as he always does. That's not new. He's been doing that. So he's going to be personally coaching up his son. That's going to happen. Then you got Maurice Cheeks, who handles the guards, and that makes sense. So you're going to have... this is going to be the dynamic that you're going to have going forward, which is why you have some of these holdovers. It looks like Dice Yoshimoto is still going to be part of the player development crew, at least at this point. I still see him listed as one of the coaches for the Knicks. I think I got that from Basketball Reference. He's still listed as a developmental coach. So he didn't coach the Summer League this year, maybe because they wanted this Brink guy who's familiar with Mike Brown's offense to try to teach the kids the way they're supposed to run, and the defense, which didn't look good except for when certain guys were on the floor, as we already mentioned. So that's probably why Dice Yoshimoto wasn't the guy. Dice Yoshimoto knows Tibbs' style, and that's, again, for your summer league. Your coach of the summer league has got to be an extension, or at least giving the new players, which you're dealing with in summer league, a template for what the head coach is going to expect. So it made sense looking back like that Dice Yoshimoto wouldn't have been the summer league coach. But I'm glad he's still part of the player development, because he's very good at that, as he has shown over the 5 years under Tibbs. So I'm glad to see that. So hopefully they keep him. So it looks like the coaching situation, for all of you that's been asking, it looks like the coaching situation is rounding into form. You're going to have Mike Brown handling defense, Prigioni and Fois handling offense. You're going to have specialists like Mark Bryant for big men, Mo Cheeks for guards. You're going to have Rick Brunson definitely coaching up his son, Jalen, during the course of the season, as he's been doing. And it looks like it's rounding into form. You're going to have Dice still. Greer is still there. Player development guys, very important. Still, especially now, when you're going to have a team of 10 deep, and you possibly... I really think Diawara might find his way in some playing time because of his defense and his upside at age 20. I think he could find his way in there. And so you're going to need development coaches like Dice and Greer to help these young guys. And then, of course, guys that are going to be going on either two-way contracts like Payne, or your G League contract. Like, I think, because the Knicks own... Najee's rights. I think they keep his rights and put him on a G League contract for now. I can see that happening. I would be surprised if he got a real regular two-way deal, because they still got McCullough, and they still got Brochamp on a two-way deal, and they're going to definitely have Dink Payton on a two-way deal. So they only could have three. and then they only got one veteran contract available. And I'm feeling like that's going to go to Sham. At least I hope so. So there's no room really for Najee or anybody else to get any other spot. All y'all keep talking about it. There's only one spot. Okay. Now, if they trade Kolek, there's a second spot. You could talk about that. But for now, as it stands today, there's one rookie spot and one vet spot. That's it. The rookie is Diawara, period. The vet, well, I'm hoping it's Shaman, but it's going to be a vet spot. Somebody going to get it. And that's all. See, so you can whine about, why can't this guy, it is what it is. This business, there's numbers, there's 15 guys, 12 regular roster guys, 3 two-way guys, period. Okay? You ain't got but 2 spots. We've been saying that all summer. You only got but 2 spots. Unless they trade Kolek to create another spot, you only got 2 spots. And so you got all of these guys for 2 spots. And as it turns out, like I said, Pate gonna get a 2-way deal. Okay, Bocamp's already on a 2-way deal, as is McCullough Jr. They're already on 2-way deals. So they don't need to do nothing but stay right there and keep their 2-way deals unless they open another spot, which right now they haven't. But I think we're gonna see whatever that's going to work out in the next couple of weeks. We're going to see that. You're going to see the vet, whoever gets signed. You're going to see the 2-way deals, whoever gets that. You're going to see that next few weeks. Okay? So that's coming. But for now, the coaching staff appears to be rounding in the form. It's going to be a good one. And it's going to be something that fits the new style that Oklahoma City and the Pacers have introduced to the league now. Being in the championship, running 10 guys deep. Mike Brown's going to do that. It's going to be exciting to watch. You got to stay healthy. The biggest opponent to the Knicks championship dreams is health. That's it. Okay, if they're healthy, the NBA is going to have a problem. You all enjoy your Wednesday. Sure.